Welcome back to Guidance Story. Have you ever wondered what your life would look like if you could go back and reclaim the time you've wasted? What if there were moments you let slip away that could have changed your life forever? What if you had a chance to truly understand the real value of time, not just as hours on a clock, but as moments that could change everything? In a small town lived a young boy named Alex. Alex had always been a dreamer. He was the type of person who had big plans and an even bigger list of things he wanted to do someday. But as much as he dreamed, he found himself spending countless hours scrolling through social media, playing video games, or just mindlessly watching TV. He believed he had all the time in the world to chase his dreams later. Alex lived in a quiet town, and one summer evening, he found himself wandering through the town square where vendors sold various trinkets and treasures. Among them was an old man with a table filled with beautiful hourglasses of all shapes and sizes. They glittered in the fading sunlight, each filled with sand of different colors. There was something enchanting about them, and Alex found himself drawn to the display. The old man noticed Alex's fascination and smiled. "These aren't just hourglasses, you know," he said with a mysterious twinkle in his eye. "Each one of these tells a story about time. You see, time isn't just about hours or days, it's about moments you can never get back." Alex, intrigued but skeptical, replied, "What do you mean?" "Time is time. It just passes." The old man picked up a small golden hourglass and handed it to Alex. "Take this with you, but remember, once you flip it over, you must make every moment count. Time is the most precious thing we have, and once it slips away, it's gone forever." Alex, amused, accepted the hourglass and placed it on his nightstand when he got home, forgetting about it soon after. Days turned into weeks, and the hourglass collected dust, sitting in the corner of his room. Meanwhile, Alex continued to postpone his dreams. He always had an excuse. "I'll start tomorrow," or "I'll get to it next week." One day, Alex's friend Tom came over. Tom was a go-getter, someone who had always made the most of his time. He noticed the dusty hourglass and picked it up. "What's this?" he asked. "Oh, just some old thing an old man gave me. He said it's supposed to remind me of time or something," Alex replied dismissively. Tom shook his head. "You know, Alex, you've got all these dreams, but you're never going to achieve them if you keep wasting time. Look at this hourglass. Every grain of sand represents a moment, a chance you'll never get back. Why don't you try flipping it over and see if it inspires you?" Alex, slightly annoyed but also curious, flipped the hourglass over. He watched as the sand began to fall, grain by grain. He found himself mesmerized, and for the first time he felt a strange urgency. He realized that with every grain that fell, a moment of his life was passing by. He could almost feel the weight of lost time, of days wasted on meaningless activities. That night, Alex lay awake, haunted by the hourglass and Tom's words. He thought of all the dreams he had postponed, starting his own business, learning to play the guitar, traveling to new places, spending time with family. He had always thought there would be time later. But what if there wasn't? The next day, Alex woke up determined to make a change. He made a list of his dreams and the steps he needed to take to achieve them. He started setting small, achievable goals, dedicating an hour each day to learning something new or working on his business idea. He noticed that as he began valuing his time, his days felt fuller, more meaningful. He wasn't just passing time, he was living with purpose. But as the weeks passed, Alex found himself slipping back into old habits. One evening, he found himself scrolling mindlessly through his phone again. He looked over at the hourglass, now a constant reminder of the promise he had made to himself. He picked it up and noticed that there was a crack in the glass. Strange, he thought. He hadn't dropped it or anything. Suddenly the sand began to trickle out of the crack, faster and faster. Alex tried to stop it, but it was no use. He watched as the last grain of sand fell, and then, with a soft sigh, the hourglass shattered in his hands. Inside, there was a note. With trembling hands, Alex unfolded it. The note read, "Time waits for no one. Remember, every moment counts." The message hit him like a wave. He realized that he had been given a second chance, a chance to truly value his time. The broken hourglass was a reminder that time is fragile, and once it's gone, you can't put it back together. Determined to honor the lesson, Alex doubled down on his efforts. He began waking up early, prioritizing his tasks, and saying no to things that didn't align with his goals. He started his business, and though it was challenging, he felt fulfilled knowing he was making the most of his time. He even picked up his guitar again, and after months of practice, he played a song for his family, who were moved to tears. Years passed, and Alex became successful, not because of luck or talent, but because he had learned to value his time. He made every moment count, and he never looked back with regret. He kept the broken hourglass on his desk as a constant reminder of the lesson that had changed his life. Alex's story teaches us, time is like sand, slipping through our hands. Once it's gone, we can never get it back. We often think we have all the time in the world, but the truth is, every moment is precious. The real treasure isn't money or fame, it's time. Use it wisely, because once a moment passes, it's gone forever. So why wait for tomorrow? Start valuing your time today. So what are you waiting for? Start today. Make a list of your dreams, set small goals, and take action. Value every moment, because time won't wait for you.